Hello, and welcome back for another Sims video today. As you can see, we are in a very different space than usual. I have moved into my new apartment, hence the video for today, and that I recreated my floor plan in The Sims. So I've done this before, and I call it like reality to simality, and I did it with this pink Victorian mansion, and I actually went through a lot of YouTube videos to get the actual floor plan of the mansion because I couldn't just find it online, and recreated it in The Sims, and that was a really big, fun project. But this one, I just wanted to break into getting back into my stream and content creation routine a little bit since I took some time off to move, and we are recreating my new apartment. First off, this is my first time living in an apartment that is not just the typical shoebox apartment situation. And what I mean by that is that it's just like a rectangular space. And so whenever I have always lived in an apartment on my own, it's always been the typical square rectangular shape where the living space is on one side and then your bedroom space and bathroom are on the other side. This one has a unique layout, and I think it's because it also has a den, which is where we are now in this space. And with that, that's what I wanted to use for my game room and everything. But with that, it makes it a little bit unique and different because it has this extra space over by the front door. So the trickiest part with this layout was with my like laundry space. I actually have a washer dryer that's side by side, kind of like my last apartment did too, but I had to make it stackable in this, and that's just because if you have ever recreated something in The Sims, you know that the proportions are just not accurate. They're not the same. They don't work the same way. And my bathroom is not just a square like I had to do here. So those are the only kind of main inaccuracies for the layout of the space as a whole. But it was just since the laundry space wouldn't work well or the bathroom wouldn't work well, it was like it would impact one another because they're side by side. But diagonals in this game kind of ruin everything. So made it a lot harder to work with. But what I'm working on right now is the kitchen. So with this kitchen, I have like these countertops that are granite. It's like black and dark brown speckles, but it's like a light tan color like this with the speckles on it. The thing that was bothering me with using these Parenthood cabinets was that they just weren't the right style. They don't have the handles like they do in my apartment here. And so I end up going back and using the base game, which honestly is great. You know, the fewer packs I can get away with using, the better. But I ended up using those that we got in the SDX drop like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago now at this point. And that just seemed to match the style better because I have these cabinets where it's just like has the rectangular pane in it and it fits the style perfectly other than the knobs. Like I don't have knobs, I have handles, but that's okay. It is what it is. But I was trying to go for the style of things a bit more. So they're not completely white. That was the big kind of negative with this and how it turned out. It's like in this build, my kitchen is really, really white, but in real life, it's not this white, I promise. It's not like just everything solid white, which is kind of funny to think about now too, because when I toured this apartment, the unit I toured was the top floor, and it had gray cabinets. And so whenever I walked in, like obviously I didn't tour this one specifically, whenever I walked in the door and looked to the left, and I was like, oh no, because they were white cabinets, but it is what it is. I'm not the biggest fan of white cabinets. I've had so many white cabinets. I loved my kitchen in my last apartment the most. I think that's my favorite kitchen out of all of them. It was this really nice, like dark blue gray color, which was beautiful with the backsplash that they had. It was like a chevron tile, but like a really small tile. It was really pretty. I can't explain it very well, but this is still a nice kitchen though. But I just want to iterate that it is not a very white kitchen like it is in the game. Now, one thing that's also kind of a fun twist, like I'm just using this as like a podcast style to tell you all about some things. I've been exhausted, so if I look tired, I am. I'm still trying to catch up on sleep. I need to get a haircut. Like I need to take care of a lot of things that have kind of gone on the wayside over the past couple of weeks. I moved from Alexandria to Fredericksburg, so it's about an hour drive. Usually without traffic, it can be like 45 minutes, but there's almost always traffic. So it's always at least an hour to an hour, 10 minutes around in there. But I was going sometimes like multiple times a day back and forth. So one round trip is 2 hours just driving time. And I was doing that twice in a day sometimes. So I was driving for like upwards to 5 hours just driving. And then I was having to constantly load up my car. One day I had a U-Haul and had to deal with that. I had someone helping me with the big furniture pieces. So it's been a nightmare. Just lots of driving, lots of loading and then unloading. And it's just, we're here though. We're here. Everything is set up. We're fine. Mia's doing fine. She got sick a little bit the first day here, but has been perfectly fine since. So I think she's enjoying the fact that my bedroom here has carpet. So she loves carpet. She doesn't like walking on flat, like hardwood or any type of laminate or anything like that. She does not like tiled surfaces. She prefers carpet and rugs and things like that. So she's very happy. She stays in my bedroom now a lot more than she used to, which is good. I think she's getting out of her, discomfort a bit more. So she's making herself at home. Now, one thing I'm working on in this living room, I was trying to keep the furniture about the same as what I have here. Now, I have a standing desk right here, and it doesn't look nearly as crowded as in the game. Again, proportions, I can't help that. I promise it looks better in real life. There is space to walk, but I was really dead set on trying to keep the layout the way I have it actually furnished right now. And so I have my sectional there, and then what you saw over by the window, I put a mini grand piano on the table because I have that Lego set, and it's like the little grand piano Lego set, and I have it on a gold table by the window where all my plants are and things. And I put a picture of that in the Discord. If you want to join the Discord, I have that linked below for you. But we like to hang out there between uploads and between live streams on Twitch. So if you want to hang out with the community, meet one another, introduce yourself. We have an introduction channel. I know there are a lot of people in there who will be really nice to you and would love to meet you and have you be part of the community, including myself. Working on this bedroom was a bit tricky. The bedroom is like the weirdest shaped space out of the entire apartment, which is honestly not that bad now that I have a den space, because if you remember in my last apartment, I had my gaming setup in my bedroom and, it was a bit crowded. And with this shape, I actually think I could have fit it over in the corner by the window if I had to do it. But I'm really glad I don't have to now. But I had to size down the bed in here just to make it fit. I could not change the layout. At this point, I already had everything laid out and already had furnishings. So I was like, I have to stick with what I have. I'll just size the bed down. It's not a big deal. But I have this dresser that I have my TV on. I had someone that I hired to mount my TV in the last apartment, and taking it off the wall kind of freaked me out because it had 4 huge holes in the wall, and I'm still waiting about my security deposit. And I would not be surprised if they charged me for that, but I did spackle it, like I filled it in. But I was like, I don't want to do this over and over again because I had it mounted at the apartment before then as well, the same TV mount. I'm just like, I need to stop doing this until I find somewhere more permanent that I want to be. So I just put it on my dresser now. I don't need it to be fancy mounted on the wall. I'm going to keep my mount for later. I know I'm yapping a lot, but I've missed y'all, so I'm just letting you know some of the insights here. But the bed was sized down so it could fit a bit better in the layout. So I know in like actual Sims gameplay, I don't know if they can still get in a bed that's sized down, honestly. I've never really done that before. So if you have to, you can just bump the wall out. I was just trying to keep it, very much like my current apartment. Now, this is where things really fell off the tracks a good bit, was the bathroom. So in my bathroom space, there's actually, like I said, I have a washer and dryer side by side. And then I have the bathroom right next to it where a closet is. So it's washer, dryer, closet, bathroom. And so the closet space goes into the bathroom, like the wall juts around. So when you open the door, it's kind of like a mini one tile, so to speak, in the Sims game, where you walk before you have the toilet to the left of you. But here I had to make it just a plain square. So it made some things a little weird because we have this one corner by the bathtub that's just empty because obviously, like, I don't have that like that necessarily. But you could imagine another like 1x1 tiled room. I can't do it though because it's on a diagonal. So I tried to put a wall there just to block it off and have the empty tile. I could not do that. So it looks a little funky in the bathroom. I did the best with what I could. Now I'm working on the game room, which y'all can see. behind me I have a lot of display things with lots of little things on it. So I put the gaming cubes. I use a lot of Comfy Gamer, and that just made sense for the space that we have here. So I put my desk here that I'm talking to y'all on with the camera on the tripod that I have. So I'm making it very, at least as realistic as I could make it. And then I actually do have like a little white table here because I had this white table I found a couple apartments ago that was in the trash room. I was like, I can use that. I always like take things, I'll look and see. I actually took a plant that was by the dumpster a couple of days ago. I was like, I think I can bring this back to life. And I've done it before because my pothos plant in the living room is thriving now. And it was also something I found in a trash room at one of my apartments one time, and has stayed with me ever since. But I do have my iMac and my MacBook over on the white table over here, so I wanted to put that in the space as well. I'm putting all sorts of the fun posters and games and books and things like that, like I have behind me. I even have my Sims poster. You might be able to see it. I have my Sims poster from the 25th anniversary there. I have the trackpad framed above my desk over here. Like, y'all can't see it, but I did put it in the Discord if you want to, go to the Discord. I don't know why I'm plugging the Discord so much, but we have a lot of fun in there. And then I put Bonbon. I actually do have Bonbon, the fairy, over here hanging on one of my shelves. So I was really trying to find objects in the game that were a nod to what I have in the actual gaming space in here. And I think it turned out really well. I think it looks cute. And I have my freezer Boney on my microphone right here. You can't really see him super well, but I have him hanging here. And so I wanted to include a lot of those objects and items. I think the game room is one of the ones that took me the longest to kind of clutter up a little bit. I put the little cherry blossom, or in here, I think it might be a maple or bonsai tree. I don't know how they classify it in this game, but I have that down here as well. This is turning into kind of like a mini tour video. But I have my Lego set of the cherry blossom down here. So, really trying to find the objects that I could. I have my PlayStation over here on this table. So I put the Dream Cube on the table in the game. I had a lot of fun. I think it's really fun to get creative with taking objects from the Sims game. That obviously the Sims isn't going to have every object that you have, but trying to substitute it and find things that just kind of work in the place of what you actually have. And then I do have Mia's little pet bed over here to the right. And you can see it in the full screen where it's just me. But I wanted to put that in the actual build there too. So I thought it was a cute vibe. Now, I do have this huge square painting that I had in my last apartment that I put there right as you go into the kitchen. I almost said the fridge. As you go into the fridge. But I actually have one that looks just like that with the frame, not the picture itself. It's like an abstract painting that has different just random color strokes with pinks, this corally dark orangey bronzy color, and greens and blue. And so my living room is essentially some neutral colors like grays and whites with pink, blue, and green. So I like that combination. I think it's a really pretty combination of colors. And now we're working on the kitchen. So I actually do have this whole coffee bar area right next to the fridge. I have an espresso machine, I have a coffee maker, I have a coffee grinder. So I got the grinder espresso machine because I use my espresso machine a lot more than my coffee maker. So I was like, I'll prioritize that because they're so big in this game. I couldn't put all of them necessarily. And then I have some cute clutter with the open shelves. Now, I had open shelves above my sink in my last apartment too, which is whenever I bought a lot of cute plants and things to put up there. So I was really happy that this complex also had open shelving above the sink, so I could put a lot of those same objects there. So I have a lot of glassware. So it's not quite the same as in the game, but I tried to find some nods to that. And then I have my Amazon Echo Show, which is, if you're not familiar, it's the Alexa device that has the screen on it, the touch screen, because you can look at recipes and things. I like to use it for that sometimes. So I have it in the corner of my kitchen right where I have this iPad recipe book as well. So I wanted to incorporate that a little bit as a nod to what I actually have. And then one thing that I still don't get why we can't get it in the actual Sims games, but having a microwave that can slot above the stove, because that's so common in apartments nowadays. I always have to use the tool mod to do it, but I wanted to do it, and so I did. And then I have a bar cart over here in this corner in my living space that I took a lot of different objects. I got the nectar, the little bottle from Cozy Bistro, Nectar's from Horse Ranch, by the way, and then I have Life and Death bottles as well. And then I just put a couple of little like wine glasses, as you could call them, I guess nectar glasses in this case there. Now, whenever we get to the couch, I have a ton of throw pillows. Like I, at least in my apartment alone, have at least 20 throw pillows easily. I don't know the number right off the top of my head, but several of them for my couch. And I didn't want to like spend a lot of time putting a ton of pillows on the couch. So I just put these few with the blues and pinks, and then I got the mollusk one that's green, just to incorporate the colors of the throw pillows that I have. And then I do have a circular rug in my living space, and it looks really cool with, it looks cool here, but it looks really cool with my coffee table, because my coffee table is actually this rounded triangular shape, and it's like a glass top, and it has a white shelf underneath it. And so obviously we don't have something like that in the game, and we don't have very many that are like glass top coffee tables either that were small. And so basically I had high school years. That was like literally one of the only ones I could use. So just ignore the color of the glass on that. I get it's supposed to be like fun, colorful. It's high school years, but that does not look like mine. Just putting that out there. It's a similar style though. Like I said, I was trying to go for the right style of things. And then I have Lego flowers. I have some Lego flowers here, like a little bouquet that I made. And then I have another one with different Lego flowers in the kitchen on my island. So I put the big bouquet of flowers there in the kitchen for that reason. I have a fruit bowl. I talked about this in the chat with chat a little bit. I have a fruit bowl, but I don't really use it unless I have like bananas or peaches or pears or something like that, because most of the fruit I buy, I just put in the fridge. Like, I don't know if y'all are like that. Let me know in the comments below. But like, do you all keep fruit in a bowl? Like, how do you like your fruit? Room temperature? Like, that's a really weird niche question, but it did come up with the chat. So I'm just curious to know, like, what do you do? Do you have a fruit bowl? What types of fruits do you leave out versus those that you put in the fridge? Now, some of them are common sense, because like berries or something like that, you'd want to refrigerate more so. But like apples, for instance, I like my apples to be cold, like from the fridge. That way they're crisp when you bite into them, more so than just room temperature. But then some people like peaches that are cold. I like my peaches to be room temperature, because I like the squishiness of them and the juiciness. And I just feel like it's not the same whenever they're cold, because they're harder when they're cold. Anyway, I get really analytical with stuff like that, but I'm curious to know, obviously, because I keep talking about it. But over by my desk, I have these two pictures that are like of flowers and wildflowers with green. It has a lot of green color, and I thought those from Cats and Dogs were perfect. I did mean to switch the swatch of one of them. I didn't mean for it to be the exact same swatch for both, but it's fine. Not a big deal. And then I have my work computers on this desk. So I work remotely, and I have a lot of computers, y'all. I have so many laptops, because two of the companies that I'm contracted with provided me with their own laptops. And then one of the contracts I have, I actually use my own laptop for. But then I have my iMac as well, and then two monitors with my PC here. So I like have a ton. And I actually sold my big curved 49-inch monitor that I used to use for streams and YouTube videos and stuff, because it was just too much. It was way too much. It wouldn't have fit here very well anyways with my new desk, which is now a standing desk, which is really cool. So I'm going to be standing up some in the streams. So that's exciting. And then I keep my backpack in here, so that's why I put that little like satchel bag that we got in the new Grange Mudroom kit, and I put that over in the corner because I actually have my backpack there right now. And then we're working on the bathroom. Now, my curtain is not blue and white striped. I mainly went with that because I do have a shower tub combo here, and we don't have very many options with that. And, you know, unfortunately, it's better for Mia, but I personally liked my last apartment. It had just the shower with the glass door. It was really nice and easy to, you know, access and clean and things like that. But the bathtub, I know Mia, it'll be easier for me to bathe her in. So, you know, trying to stay positive a little bit. But I was trying to like imitate the style. Again, it always comes down to the style for me for the most part. So colors are secondary. I'll try to match colors, but I think the style is more important if I can get some colors that are at least similar. Now, here with the thermostat, it's a little weird to have a dream catcher, but I don't actually have a dream catcher. I have this really interesting artwork piece where it's like a wooden rod, and then there are strings with like threaded leaves that hang down, and there are different shades of green, and it has like white in it as well, and they just kind of dangle down. So I was trying to think of something that we have in the game, and the Dreamcatcher was about the closest thing that I could find that we have in the game that would imitate that. And then my bedroom here, like I have wooden nightstands. It's just really hard. The bedroom is very mismatched, and it's hard to explain what I have, but like the lights that I have on the nightstands are like these lantern industrial kind of vibes. I have a lot of wood, so I like chose to match at least the bookcase with that. And then I do have a tower fan next to my dresser. And then I actually have a schematic of a clarinet with the patent there on the wall. So that's why I put the geographic map thing or something like that. But I'm just doing some like little finishing touches. And so let's go check out the build in the game. So I do have this on the gallery as just my new apartment. And I like deleted the one tile for every room. So it's just one big room that you can download from the gallery. So it's not going to be like under a lot. It's going to be a room. I still ended up using quite a bit of packs. I'm sorry about that. But this is the build. And so I actually have a mechanical room, and there's a vent right here that's attached to it. And I know it has a light like this because when I first moved in, I could see through the vent, and it had the light on, which is a bit obnoxious because the light would shine through. So I had to get maintenance to come in and turn that off. But I do have like this little mechanical room right here, and I wanted to incorporate that since it is affecting the shape of the floor plan in my apartment. And then I actually did leave the ceilings alone because they're just kind of plain here too. So I did not do the ceilings. So this is our little gaming space though, which I think is really cute. Have some plants, which I actually have. I put the branch lights because this have like a lot of fun lights behind me. Have our PC set up. I put this poster because like I said, I have the Sims 25th anniversary trackpad thing, computer pad, desk pad, whatever they called it, up here framed. And then I have this Sims poster here to match the one that's right over there. So really cute vibes though. I wanted to fill the cubby holes in because I have tons of fun clutter out behind me. The one thing that I still have to figure out, we talked about it a lot on stream, is that I have this big gap space, and I understand like it's meant for dining. You can put a dining set right here, but it's just me, and I don't really need a dining set, and I don't need to like waste money on that. I don't have to have something, but I'm planning on getting a rug at least to put here and a console table up against this wall. This wall is a lot bigger in real life than it looks like in The Sims. Really in The Sims, you'd want it to be 2 tiles wide for like about how wide it is here. But I'm thinking of getting a console table here. I'm going to put like a mini console table here as well by the door. But like I have this big open space. So if y'all have ideas for what to put here, I'm open to hearing them. But this is the kitchen space over here. Cute, fun. It's not that white in real life, but you know, it is what it is. Then I have my living space over here. I do have like these wire pictures over the TV. Obviously, we don't have anything like that in The Sims, so I just put these because it's a set of 3. And got some fun clutter. I have a lot of plants in the corner over here in my real apartment with that vine down. And then this is the desk space off of that. And then I have my balcony over here. This is the tree that I found by the dumpster. So I put this, and I mainly put this one because it has the like trunk that has the braided kind of look to it. And that's the kind of tree that I found. So I wanted to imitate that. And then we have the bedroom space here. And I have 3 pictures over my bed in my bedroom as well. And this is kind of like what it looks like, but not really in real life. I do have a lamp that's kind of like this. It's not arched, but it is like a straight rod that has a shade that hangs down off of it that I can adjust. But my bedroom, I put a little closet because I do have a closet, obviously. And then again, we did a stackable laundry room because I couldn't put the side by side. And then the bathroom. This is my bathroom space. I do have like a cabinet that's next to the vanity space. So that's kind of like as imitated as it's going to get for right now. I have an elephant picture, but I put these instead. This is from the new Grange Mudroom kit, and I remember whenever I reviewed it that I absolutely said I would use these in bathrooms because this would be a really great bathroom object because I struggle with wall decor in bathrooms other than just shelves with bathroom clutter on them. So if you want to check out my review video, I'll have that link down below for you as well. And then I do have a like bar rack here, but I also have like a basket with towels. So I thought this would be kind of a good cross between what I actually have in real life. That's my apartment, y'all. It's kind of an interesting shape. I like it. It's been fun. I've enjoyed it so far. We'll see how it pans out. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for being here. Again, I would love to hear what you would do with this big open space. I don't want to necessarily put like a big table with like a vase of flowers or something like that. I feel like that's kind of a waste in a way. I would love to have that in a real house, like in a foyer area, but I don't know. I'm not really feeling that for this. And then, like I said, I've done another video that was based off of a real life Victorian mansion. It was a pink Victorian mansion in New York. So if you're interested in seeing that, I'll put that over here for you. I want to give a special thanks to my Soul supporters. And with that, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Okay, bye. Oh my gosh, y'all, I'm so happy to finally be in my new place. It's been like a couple of months, a stressor for me. But now, with everything unpacked in its place, I can finally start to try and enjoy it and find a job.